All right. Thank you for your opinion. I really appreciate it. Also, there's another question I wanted to ask y'all. Do y'all find it weird that they're making DC Comics bisexual specifically?
No,
Like,
fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it.
You talking about
nah, because it first started with Tim Drake being bisexual, and then now it's just Superman being bisexual.
I thought at first it was Constantine.
Talking about Aqualad too.
Superman's son is
Constantine.
bisexual.
Yeah, that's true, Constantine. But that was really the live action, though, right?
But Robin
No, in
was
the comics too, he was bi.
Oh,
Mind you, it was later versions of him when they, when they did that. But even still, like the first one that I could think of, okay, now they started fucking with his sexuality and shit, was Constantine.
Why does it matter? He's a fucking superhero.
exactly.
Well,
the fact is, the problem is, why are they doing this now? Why are you changing the shit now? That's not what's up. Create a I did a video on this. Like, create a fucking character. Make it whatever you want, trans or whatever. Establish somebody fucking amazing, son, and do what you want.
Don't change our shit.
But why do you have to do that to establish history and change up since when, yo? You know how many stories led up to, and now they did that to Bobby Drake in X-Men, Iceman. I'm like, yo,
that was the first time. That was the first person they did it to, too. And he was a playboy. Bobby Drake was a playboy.
Retrofitted the shit. I'm like, yo, stop. Just make someone gay. Just make a new character. Stop.
Pandering, man. Pandering.
I think that when people say why does it matter when you talk about superhero comic books, it's kind of disingenuous because superhero comics, unlike a lot of anime, has always been about the character's interpersonal relationship. Like if you read X-Men or Spider-Man, it's always got an element of romance and of, who they're dating. They jump from Spider-Man's dating Gwen Stacy, now he's dating Black Cat.
Now, and you need that. That's we relate to that. We relate to that. We love who we once loved, this, that, and the other. You keep it going. I understand that. But that's not, it would be nice if that was established when he was created. Right. But that's not the case. It wasn't intended. And as the readers, we know that. And we're like, why would you do that? It just makes, no. And there are people that grew up with him, I grew up with Tim because I remember the first time I seen him on WB, I was like, yo, who's this kid, yo? And all of a sudden, I'm like, it doesn't hurt, man. These are fictional characters. And I'm like, why would you do that? People, they lose interest. And the numbers show. You see it on the TV versions and in the comic sales. And they're wondering why it's failing. And it's the same reason to go all around. That's why there's this comic books gate and all this shit. They made and it's legit complaints, but they want to turn it into xenophobic shit. I'm like, nah, that's not it. We really don't care. But don't fuck with who we know.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like they made Robin bisexual after 30 years of me knowing Robin.
Right.
Robin,
another form of pandering.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by why does it matter? I've spent 30 years loving this character, and then you wait now to tell me he was bisexual. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't matter to me no more.
Now they're making the jokes real. Remember when the 60s version was on Fox and they're like, yo, they lovers, right? Remember that shit? That was a joke? Yeah. Now they're making that real. And
what's funny? Because people was...
So come on. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Ernie and Bert.
And I think they knew if they messed with the original Robin, I think they knew not to do that. Because of the backlash would have been harder than with Tim. You understand? Because he done with Starfire and all of them, Barbara, and
Hold on,
no sign of that shit. If they touched him, so they had to go one step down.
Yeah.
Tim Drake is rated Robin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just making sure.
I just want to say real quick.
No pun intended to the LGBTQ community. Let me clarify that. I don't mean that in that way. It's just stupid. It's unnecessary. Like, what the fuck?
I just want to say real quick.
Okay. First of all, we talk about the LGBTQ a lot in this podcast, but they're always doing something. There's always something about them
swear.
just circulating around. But like, cause I saw it, and like I'm not a big DC Comics guy, so I saw it and I was like, oh shit, if he's bi, then cool. Like, as long as you can make a good story about it, then I guess. Cause I was actually having this conversation yesterday with somebody about like the God of War controversy with the black girl, and I'm like, bruh, as long as they just make the content good, that's all I care about. I don't mind that you want your representation. I don't mind that you want to see two dudes kissing or two women kissing or whatever. Just give me a good ass story. I want something like what Pose did. It took a fucking story and it told it in the best way possible. And that's why that show has Emmys. That's why that show won awards, because the show is actually fucking good. I don't care if these niggas is trans. I don't care if these niggas pronouns is whatever. Just make it good, for the love of God.
We don't need another Empire. Please.
The thing is, they don't even make it good. At least they don't, because it's too much focused on that. And every story is like, and every little joke, and I'm like, oh, women are better. And I'm like, yo, that's not. And the readers are like, come on, yo, at least. Why do you have to rub it in now? It's all right. Like, for real, people really don't care. I don't fucking care what your orientation is. There are plenty of characters I like that. Yo, my number one favorite bisexual character is Captain Jack Harkness from Doctor Who. And I'm like, people don't really know about that. It's a British show, but still, that dude. And now he's in every DC fucking show. He's Dark Archer now. I follow this guy everywhere. He's always in some sci-fi or comic book based shit. And I started off, his first time I introduced to this actor is when he played a bisexual character. And I did not give a fuck. His story was fucking amazing. I didn't care what his orientation was.
Nobody.
Do you? And in real life, he is gay. So I don't care. But when you do this to the character, why?
I felt the same way.
And it's proof we love these people. So I
felt the same way about Off of the Wire. Like, he's one of my favorite characters in there, and that dude was gay. But like him as a character,
I remember.
Yeah. That's what made his character better than what it was, because it was in an era where that wasn't really accepted. So for a dude who was openly gay, going around Baltimore robbing people and taking all their packets, it's like, oh no, not only did he rob me, I'm getting robbed by a gay guy. So now we really got to kill him, and then it's almost impossible to get him.
I got a news flash for all y'all.
That's fucking compelling too.
Love
that story.
Y'all all getting canceled. Subjects. Y'all all getting canceled like Dave Chappelle.
Oh no, there's no way for anyone to do anything at Dave Chappelle.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you why I don't worry about the LGBTQ community canceling me, because I lived in a city where the check-it scared everybody. So I'm not worried about the LGBTQ community anymore. I was worried about a real group of gay people going around beating up motherfuckers. So
it's funny you mentioned Dave Chappelle, because there's actually a lot of people within the LGBT community actually defending Dave Chappelle.
That's all it means.
He told jokes about every group, and the only group who came back to say something about it were them.
Yeah.
He made jokes about Asian people, he made jokes about white people, black people.
I think black people caught it the worst.
Exactly. He beat the brakes off of us. And it's like
I saw the special, right? But when the special, like, everybody was talking about, he went too far with the LGBTQ and the trans people, but really, in my opinion, from what I saw, he didn't really go that hard in on them for real this time at all. Like, it was a lot worse. It was worse last time than it was this time. But with women and feminism, he went in on women and feminism.
Yeah, that shit was funny. Oh my god, that shit was hilarious.
You got it going on there. Shut them up.
That shit had me in tears. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I was like, damn, damn son.
I just feel like for you to complain to a comedian who's known for bashing every goddamn, he shows nobody's safe with Dave Chappelle.
Nobody.
Rated E for everyone, baby.
And I mean everybody. Nobody, you can, when it comes to shots fired, Dave Chappelle's face should be right beside it. Because he is famous for shooting at anybody and everybody. He doesn't care. So for you to think that you're going to cancel a guy who's been doing this shit longer than the organization has been together. The LGBTQ community hasn't been a community long enough to cancel Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle was making these jokes before y'all could even identify yourselves these ways. So I mean, stop it. Like let's come on, man. Now all of a sudden everything is offensive. Then you got a lot of shit to go back in time to go ahead and complain about and get taken off of TV because
they're canceled.
Right. Because Chappelle been doing this shit longer than a lot of these motherfuckers ain't even been alive.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, at the same time, you have to understand that the people that we're talking about like a political aspect of people's lives instead of more so like a sexual component of it. Because
exactly.
Most because there's a lot of people who are gay and trans and shit like that are just cool. Like they watch the special, then they go on about their day. They
laugh, they joke just like we
they
do.
laugh, they joke just like the rest of us. So that's why I say like we have to make a distinction, because there's plenty of those type of people that are just cool and like they shoot the shit with us, and we get to banter and we get to talk shit amongst one another, because I have friends like that. But it's more so the people who majorly like run in like Democrat circles, who particularly run in Democrat circles, and because they're used to getting shit, because they have friends in high places, when they voice their opinion about something, they want it to be heard, they want it to be broadcasted. So those people that are speaking are not the voice of every single person that may conform to that lifestyle or that are part of that community.
Very well put.
But isn't it funny? They got the writer for Dear White People.
Yes. He was trans, by the way.
Talking shit about Dave and his stand-up, right? Whilst thinking she knows or he knows or whatever knows what the black, and you write in a letter to, you think you could speak for, because you write that shit?
Dave Chappelle, I was very, very offended by this latest special. You are not a funny person, and you are not a good person as well.
Well, tell her,
Father, why are you reading it like that?
You are scum between my toes. Love alpha.
Let him have it.
Tell her I was offended by. Tell her I'm offended by Netflix, because that show is ass. So
trash.
I love that. I like the movie, but the show I cannot keep my attention for shit.
And then they tried to make a fucking musical for the final season. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You had one of the actresses fucking singing bye 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 to a white boyfriend, and I'm like, this is called Dear White People. Yeah, she's swirling. I see you.
Right.
That's what I hate too. They be shows like in especially like the LGBTQ relationships. It's either somebody ethnic or a nigga every fucking time.
In real life, there's Don Lemon. Talk shit about white people all day, son.
Then he
dude's married to a white man. I'm like, yo, stop.
He go lay up with his zaddy.
I'm supposed to take this station seriously now, son. You're kidding. Nah.
Yeah, y'all like that's how I know they ain't about that life. You not about it. Jesus. You say, oh, I'm for black people and everything. I see your boyfriend, I see your girlfriend, and look who you sleeping with. Well, it's my personal choice. Yeah, your personal choice. All right. You know you wasn't about it in the first place.
insane.
Wow. That was intense.
Why can't anybody just be new? Why can't be original, son? Make a new cat. Yo,
Bro,
that's